Libra, welcome to March. And March begins with a new moon. And the new moon is in an area of your chart that represents looking at your habits and your routines so you can feel healthy and that your life itself is healthy and is functioning. So this month, the beginning of the month, you might start to make some changes in your daily, weekly, monthly schedule to keep things flowing. So there's not confusion, so that you don't get in a pile up mode where everything gets overwhelmed and what you want to do gets thrown off base. So keep it rolling in a good manner. And the new moon actually is very intense, not because of the new moon, which is trine Jupiter, 10 degrees to 10 degrees in Cancer, but because of the other things that are going on. Mars goes retrograde that day. It goes retrograde in your sign in Libra. Saturn goes retrograde the next day on the 2nd. And that Venus, your ruler, is square that Mars retrograde. So what does this mean? It means that you are meant, Mars is the will force, action. And think of it as the will to do something. Venus is what we desire, what we want, romantic and otherwise. But is your will aligned with your desire? Are you willing to do what it takes to have what you desire? And Mars in Libra by itself is this real strong energy in your sign to stand up for yourself, stand up for what you want, know yourself, but stand up for what's important to you and what you know that you want. And have this negotiation. The negotiation can be all within yourself about how much you're willing to do to have the things that you want. And if you're really not willing to put the effort into it, then it's time to let it go. It's time to be honest with yourself about it. Say, sure, I'd like to have this, that, and the other thing, but it takes so much effort, so much time, so much this and that. I really don't want to. It's more of a dream. So distinguishing the dream. And the Pisces time is about getting in touch with the ideal and the vision. But this energy, especially with the Saturn retrograde, is saying make it real. Be real about it, what you're willing to do. Venus enters Aquarius, air sign, going into your solar fifth house of hobbies, your love affairs, dating. It can be a good time just to go out on dates. And if you're in a relationship, it can be with your sweetheart. Even if you're in a relationship, it can be with your friends, because this is a friend-oriented time. And if you're not in a relationship, you can meet somebody or just be spending some good quality times with people that you like. We have Jupiter going direct on March 6th, and it's in a good angle to you and says, look for opportunity for career. Just look for it. You have to walk through the door, but the opportunity is starting to open up for you. The full moon in Virgo on the 16th. That's on a Sunday, but you will feel this energy growing on Friday and on Saturday. And it is between, remember that beginning of the month energy that we talked about do you have the right routines and habits in your life to make your life smooth so you don't get overwhelmed and then all of a sudden you have to change what you want to do in order to catch up with something else, to have your life running smoothly. And the full moon will illuminate where you can be your own worst enemy or where you can stumble in that so you can understand yourself better to put things in balance. The sun enters Aries on the 20th, about 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And it is the beginning of the halfway mark between your birthday and your next birthday, right? Because Aries is opposite you. So it's a reflection time. Take a look at what's going on, what you've done since your birth date, and how much you want to do between now and your next birthday. And the month ends with the new moon in Aries. And just like it began with an intensity, it ends with an intensity, this new moon. It begins with a new moon, ends with a new moon. And the intensity is a lot different than the first one because the new moon of Aries is connected with Uranus, which wants freedom, wants change. It wants disruption. It's a revolutionary energy. Just let me free. Yet it is square Jupiter and square Pluto. So what does this mean? That square Pluto are things that where we want control of life, but recognize that we don't control everything. So you can want this freedom, but there may be circumstances that are outside of your control that say, hey, it's not your time. But you transformed. This is a transformation energy. Understand yourself in deep psychological terms, and you will be able to have the freedom. And then look for the opportunity. Jupiter wants growth, expansion, travel, freedom in another level, a sense of confidence. Have confidence in yourself that you can be the person in the world you want to be. And look for opportunities out there, whether it's in your chosen career path or a volunteer path or being connected with a group of people where you can contribute. That's where your opportunity will come to give you this transformation and freedom. Now, just like the month began with an aspect between Venus and Mars, square, more difficult, it ends with a trine, a more harmonious aspect. However, Venus is square Saturn. And Venus square Saturn is where's the restriction. Before it was where's the argument, where's the discord, where's the I'm not willing to do that for what I want. This is where am I restricted? And where do I need to work harder? And it's also connected with Sedna. And Sedna is the concept of the promised land that didn't turn out the way it was promised. The false promises in life. If I do this, then this will happen. So the awareness of false promises. Maybe the awareness of what you expect other people to provide for you, because it's in your solar 8th house. And so, but the purpose of this is to recognize that, get rid of the illusion, and work towards what is most important for you. So you do have that sense of freedom of expression, of growth, of transformation, and that confidence to be able to be the person you want to be in the world.